Hello, my name is Jacob Lee, and this is my Unity 3 project. This project was inspired by Vampire Survivors, and I wanted to test out making a 2D game instead of a 3D one, so I decided to create it. What did I learn and use for my project? So during class, I learned something about making UI bars and making enemies, which I used in my project. So UI bars are basically sliders, and you can set the value of them in a script. So you can like set it to 100, and when the max value is 100 to make it appear full, and 0 to make it appear empty. Enemies, I made a UFO space enemy that shoots custom laser bullets I made and tracks the player. Code example. So the first code is about firing the weapon. It instantiates 2 bullets at the position of the fire point. So one at the fire point 1 and one at the fire point 2, which is relative to the player, copying the rotation and position of them. So they're facing forward, and it applies force to them using the impulse type force. The second code is rotation and movement of the player. So it sets the velocity of the rigid body to a new vector 2 and multiplies the direction values by the move speed that you set earlier. It also has an aim direction, which is also a vector 2, and it just subtracts your mouse position to your rigid body position. The aim angle is uses some trigonometry, I guess, to calculate the angle, and then it sets the rotation of the player to the angle. Now it's time for a demo. Yeah, so basically you're in this, like, I guess, asteroid bunker, and aliens are trying to invade you, I guess. And yeah, God. Why do you keep doing this? Bro, stop. Stop. Cut this out, cut this out. Like, you can cut that, right? No, you can't. Yes, you can. You can just use video edit. So basically, aliens are invading your aliens are basically invading you, and you're trapped in an asteroid prison where they will try to shoot you. So you have a stamina and HP bar. If you shoot too many bullets, you'll run out of stamina, and the health packs give you health, while the green gems give you stamina. So these are the bars I mentioned earlier, and the bullets deal damage to the enemies by using a fire function, which deals damage to the enemies. So for example, in the code, in the enemy script, it contains a die function, which destroys itself and spawns some loot, and this is the loot code. And it takes damage using the take damage function, which can be run from the player bullet script when it collides with something. Oh God. Yes, I did. It's taking that long.
Using Zoom now.
Okay.
2, 1.
My favorite part about working on this project was creating the player. It was interesting to code health, shooting, and the movement of the player while making their game objects. If I were to continue to work on this project, I would add more enemies, complex mechanics like dashing, I guess, shooting different kinds of bullets, and using like bombs and stuff. We could also include better guns that do more damage, which you can buy using the gems you get, and make camera movement better because it's kind of not that smooth. We could also add different types of enemies with different attacks besides shooting directly at you, which is a rather boring enemy. We could add like bomb enemies or something like that. And we can also have more interesting interactables besides a simple asteroid. Thank you.